Ugh. Yeah, the Pipsy hatred is not a joke. I genuinely hate it. Welcome back to Let's Play Diddy Kong Racing. We've got Pipsy today to deal with Sherbert Island. And if you're wondering why the Whizpig head is all stone again, it's because this is my backup save file. There was a hilarious error recording this the first time. But that's entirely irrelevant. Let's deal with it. Sherbert Island silver coins, they're not really that difficult. I know I've said that quite a bit about the silver coins in this game, but it's exemplified by, well, just watch. A character with a decent top speed could get that coin no problem. So anyway, Pipsy's top speed is the worst in the game, her acceleration is probably the best in the game, her handling is absolute shite on a bike. And that was actually my only failed attempt at this. So here's the real deal. So long as Whale Bay doesn't have any major offshoots, like some of the other tracks. There's no major offshoots, there's nothing hidden in particularly devious places, but because it's a very wide track, they're spread all over the place. So it's really important to get your line right, keep your speed under control. Zippers will play havoc with your line, and make it hard to get silver coins, which you will have seen in previous videos. The other thing I want to mention, now that we're playing with a small character in a hovercraft, is that the hovercraft actually scales depending on the character using it. Like, Pipsy's a lighter character and so her hovercraft is a lot smaller than Crunch's. It's another one of those wonderful little details that I love about this game. So there's not much else going on here. We are in first, we are comfortably done, we have all our coins. It's also worth noting another bit of wonderful rare sexism. The Pipsy's colour is pink. She is, I believe, the only female character in the game, so naturally, you know, pink. Moving on.
Crescent Island.
This track has a lot more dick moves, because there are a lot more alternate routes. You can see the branching paths on the minimap, and however, it's made a lot easier by the fact that we're in a car this time, not a hovercraft. So the first 2 coins are there, nice and easy. One little note about this corner, do not skid if you are not hitting that zipper. If you skid for too long, you spin out, and unless you hit that zipper, you're not going to have the speed to get around there before the skid turns into a spin. There's another coin up there. I hate that little route. There's another one way out of the way there. I hate that little route on top of the pirate ship, just because it's a shortcut that's never really worked for me. It's lost me races in the past against friends and AIs. It's lost me a few bets. I have a lot of deep-seated resentment towards that. There's the last silver coin just off to the right. I had actually forgotten it was there, which is why I didn't grab it on that lap. Again, there's really not much. There's not much to say. There's just 1 coin left. The track is easy as all hell. While Pipsy has her problems in a hovercraft, she is about as good as tipped up in the car. and tipped up absolutely kills it in the car, as we'll be seeing in the next video. Since we've got nothing else to do, I figured we'd pick up the 10 missiles to launch our fireworks display at the end of the race, which thankfully is coming up soon. And I forgot about launching the missiles until the last second, so we only got 2 of them, and the tree got in the way of the actual fireworks. I love the random head turns in the Taj balloon animation, just because the character seems so uninterested. A look perfectly matching my own when it comes to those. Pirate Lagoon.
Pirate Lagoon.
Yeah, that's what I said. So this happened, and I'm not entirely sure how. Pipsy's top speed is apparently not good enough to get over a minor slope. And as a result, that happened. I was on track to win that race until that happened, so I was understandably a bit annoyed when I royally screwed it up on the second lap. Again, there's not too much difficult about this track. There's once again, no real branching paths. That hump will launch you, so don't go for that zipper on the first lap. And there's this coin massively out of the way, which is a huge dick move. However, we do get to show off the magnet a bit more, because it's a much more competitive race, and well, you can see pretty much how well that went. Yeah, the magnet's useless, unless you've got it powered up to a higher level, which often there aren't enough balloons on the track to do. At least not to do sensibly, unless you're absolutely killing it in the race. The thing I forgot you could do with the shield is if you touch an opponent when you've got it on, they will actually spin out. I had completely forgotten about that, in that it acts kind of like the Star in Mario Kart or various other kart racers' shields. I was considering firing that rocket to conquer there, but decided against it because I didn't think I would have the line. That was timed rather beautifully, I thought. Just getting it so I could just zip under Conquer as he slipped in the oil slick. And it's smooth sailing from here. I was terrified there, I thought I was going to do exactly the same thing again, but it didn't happen. Thankfully. I don't know if Pipsy's wearing a sailor suit. Might have to look that up. It's a bit weird if she is.
Treasure case.
Yay! My favourite track. So, like I said in the time trial video, this is an absolute sprint, which means you basically have very little time. You have very little time to spot and grab these coins, just because the track is so small. Thankfully though, they're very easy to see. Like, you don't have to memorise anything on this track. Everything's easily visible, and even though you have to go out your way for some of them, those two are the only real problem, because there's two right side by side. And it really brings a question of what was designed first. Were the tracks designed with the silver coins in mind, or were the silver coins just an extra thing added later to prolong the game? I find it hard to believe that the tracks were designed with silver coins in mind, just because there are far too many tracks like this one where it's just a basic loop there's no huge shortcuts, at least not without utilising one of the other vehicles, especially on this track. And I fail again. There's just not enough done with the tracks to make the silver coins hugely interesting. They're either easily grabbable without deviating too much off your line, or they're just massive dick moves that require you to have little shortcuts memorised and stuff that doesn't really assist you memorised. Ugh. Okay, let's get this over with.
If you beat me again, I'll give you a special prize.
He is a dick. There's no other way of saying this. This is the biggest dick boss in the game. And that is a perfect encapsulation of why. I was right alongside him, and he just bubbled me. And that's what makes this race so much harder than its first. Because a spike ball will stop you for maybe a second, and then you can get straight back to it. And with Pipsy's acceleration, that's not really too much of a problem. Bubbles, however, will just stop you and hold you in place for 2 or 3 seconds, and often feel like a lot longer, especially when you know that the boss is faster than you. So just every second counts in this race, especially if you're not using a heavy character. But really the basic strategy is every lap, grab 2 blue balloons to get up to the blue turbo, and just unleash it on the finishing straight when you're sure there's no bubbles in front of you. If you can actually nail it all the way around, you should be able to pass it on the second lap. And really then it's just a case of being on the defensive through the final lap. Missiles on this track are absolutely useless. They don't slow down Bubbler enough, and chances are when you're lining up a shot you're going to run into one of his bubbles and completely negate any kind of advantage you might have otherwise got.
Look, kid, maybe next time. Come back whenever you're ready.
He just sounds so patronising and insincere. I hate him. So about 10 minutes later... Yeah, seriously, I was working on this boss for about 10 minutes. Spent more time racing this boss than I did doing any of the silver coin challenges in this world. Just think about that for a second. Like, I know it's probably going to come up in the thread, but I would imagine multiple people just completely ended their playthrough of Adventure when they got to this guy, because he does throw up such a huge roadblock. You have to be, if not perfect, then certainly nearly perfect. You can't afford to hit more than, say, 1 bubble. You can hit 2 maybe if you have your line down, and maybe if you're using a faster character. But using a lightweight who don't have the top speed to keep pace with him in the open water, your only real option is using those turbos and just playing defensive on the final lap. And you can hear him behind us just constantly spitting out bubbles. I think he spits out like maybe 20 or 30 bubbles around the entire course. Thankfully they pop between you getting back there again, so you don't end up with a massive wave of bubbles as you go through. But thankfully it's dealt with now.
Well done, Shrimp. You have earned a regular. Now try the trophy challenge. Goodbye.
So yeah, you remember how Tricky and Bluey were at least magnanimous in defeat? This guy isn't, he insults us. We just beat him and he's still insulting us. Like, how can any other boss be a bigger dick than this guy? But anyway, 3 pieces of the amulet, and no voting this time. Tip Tup is taking on Dragon Forest, and you don't have a damn word to say in the matter. So I'll see you next time for that. Goodbye.